Programming brought to you by Planet Fitness, home of the judgment-free zone.
You're watching Southern Utah's own Channel 8 KCSG.
You're so adorable. I'm taking you home.
The world judges. We don't. Planet Fitness. Be free.
I used to think news is news. It's all the same. But it's not. There's a big difference between local broadcast news and cable news. See, local stations are part of my community, connecting me to local news, weather, and sports on every device. It makes sense. Get the news from the people I trust who actually live here. No agenda, no bias like on cable shout shows or social media, just facts. For news I can trust, I stay local. Support your local stations. Text TV to 52886 today.
Good evening, I'm Scott Beadle with St. George News at 8. A Utah Highway Patrol trooper who was struck by an SUV during a traffic stop on Interstate 15 near Linden Monday is recovering and is back home. UHP trooper Devin Gurney had pulled over a driver and was outside of his cruiser when an SUV crashed into the back of his patrol car, causing it to slam into him and the vehicle he originally stopped, according to the Deseret News. Gurney sustained critical but not life-threatening injuries, according to reports from the Utah Highway Patrol. Others sustained minor injuries in the accident. Gurney is the 7th trooper to be struck while on patrol in 2017 and serves as yet another example of why law enforcement officials continuously ask motorists to pay attention on the roads. The Washington County Commission announced RAP Tax awards at the regular commission meeting on Tuesday. The Tuacahn Center for the Arts is taking the lion's share of the funding. The funds are Washington County's share of the RAP taxes collected in 2016. The RAP tax was passed by voters in the 2014 general election. The money is earmarked for recreational and cultural facilities and organizations. Most of the money collected through the RAP tax, 85%, is distributed to the county's municipalities based on point of sale and population. The other 15% goes to culture and art programs. Police are looking for 2 men in 2 separate incidents that occurred recently, and they're asking for the public's help in identifying those suspects. The first is a suspect in a vehicle burglary. The second man is wanted in connection with a fraud case. If you have any information, you can call 435-627-4411 or dispatch at 435-627-4300. Organizers of the January Women's March on Washington called for women all over the world to show their strength again, but this time they want to demonstrate the power and impact women hold on the economic landscape. To do that, WMW organizers asked women to take the day off from work today and encourage them not to spend money except in women-owned businesses. Dubbed A Day Without a Woman, the protest is the first national action by the WMW organizers since the international marches after President Trump's inauguration, which drew millions into the streets in support of women's rights. And since today is International Women's Day, the United Nations Secretary General is calling for widespread empowerment of women. Antonio Guterres spoke at a news briefing alongside Kenya's president in Nairobi. Guterres says he believes the only way to make the protection of women effective is to give full priority to the empowerment of women.
And I've seen women of the great victims of poverty, of conflict, and violations of human rights in different parts of the world. The protection of women in these circumstances is absolutely essential. But I believe that the only way to make that protection effective is to give full priority to the empowerment of women, to give full priority to the massive presence of women in government institutions, in political systems, in the business community, in the boards of companies, and in peace negotiations, in all aspects in which societies are today developing.
Guterres was meeting with Kenyan President Uhuru Kenyatta before visiting the world's largest refugee camp, home to thousands of Somali refugees. The battle over House Republicans' proposed health care bill continues on Capitol Hill. House Speaker Paul Ryan has vowed to get a bill through the House, but a fellow Republican says the current version is dead on arrival. Janae Norman is in Washington, where health analysts say millions could lose the coverage they have now.
The president's goal of rescuing America The uphill battle on Capitol Hill over health care.
A lot of folks have a health insurance card, but they don't have any care.
Republicans now facing a fight against Democrats and a cohort in their own party.
I think it's dead on arrival. I don't think conservatives will vote for it.
Conservative leaders refusing to sign on to the new plan they say doesn't go far enough.
Is Obamacare in a different form?
The plan replaces Obamacare subsidies with tax credits to help buy insurance, ends government penalties over time for the uninsured, and freezes Medicaid expansion, which critics say will have a big impact on lower-income Americans.
Mr. Higgins. No. Mr. Higgins, no.
And today, Democrats pouncing on a provision in the plan that would give major tax benefits to insurance company executives, a provision estimated to cost taxpayers about $450 million that one Democrat says Republicans aren't talking about.
They're quiet, they're silent, as they are silent and acquiesce in the wrongdoing of this administration.
But President Trump is embracing and pushing the plan.
It's a complicated process, but actually it's very simple. It's called good health care.
As the White House promises,
we're going to have a full court press.
House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi is accusing the GOP of trying to rush the process without all the facts. She wants to wait for the Congressional Budget Office to weigh in with numbers before moving forward. Your Southern Utah forecast is up next.
You're watching Southern Utah's own Channel 8 KCSG.
Experiment. We buy, sell, trade, and repair computers, tablets, and phones. Located 558 Riverside Drive, Suite 112. Or find us online at experiment.com. Experience Mac computers in a whole new way.
Please state your name.
It's Agnes.
All right, Magnus. I'll start at your previous level.
No, it's Agnes.
Level 985.
Stop! Cancel!
Canceling is for quitters, Magnus.
And that's why I don't like gyms.
Well, Agnes, we're not a gym. We're Planet Fitness.
Helpful staff, unlimited fitness training, no gym intimidation, only $10 a month. We're not a gym, we're Planet Fitness.
I used to think news is news, but it's not. There's a big difference between local broadcast news and the rest. See, local stations connect my community on every device, with no bias like on cable shout shows and social media. For news I can trust, I stay local.
Sun River, St. George.
With an 18-hole championship golf course, award-winning amenities, and over 50 clubs and groups, you'll discover why Sun River St. George is truly resort-style living. Go to sunriver.com for more info. You've got to figure out how to turn 55.
And welcome back, everyone. A good Wednesday evening to you. Some beautiful weather out there late this afternoon. Lots of sunshine, dry weather, temperatures into the low to mid 70s in much of southern Utah. Did see temperatures even in the higher elevations around Cedar City get back into the mid 60s. That's almost 20 degrees above where they should be for this time of year. And that's some very nice weather, especially here in March. And looks like this nice dry weather will last through the rest of the work week. May see some slightly cooler temperatures come in for the weekend. No big cool down by any means, but could see temperatures back into the 60s by the time we get to Saturday and Sunday. But here's a look at your high temperatures throughout the area. Again, 72 degrees the high in St. George, 63 Cedar City, 77 degrees down in Las Vegas late this afternoon, 72 degrees in Hurricane, and 60 degrees a high today in Beaver. Taking a look at our Cedar City forecast for your Thursday. Again, temperatures start in the 30s, really not quite as cold as it has been the last couple mornings, and we're looking for a high reaching close to 70. We're going to shoot for a high of 68 degrees with mostly sunny skies, winds out of the north-northwest at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Some pretty pleasant weather for Cedar City. Here in St. George, we'll see temperatures once again start in the 40s, about 45 degrees around 7 o'clock in the morning, then up into the upper 70s. By the time we get to the afternoon hours, we'll go for a high of about 77. Lots of sunshine expected across our area. So what else can we expect to see as we head through the next couple of days? Well, a lot of sunshine, a lot of dry weather, and even a little bit warmer as we head into your Thursday. Highs in the mid to upper 70s here in southern Utah. As we get into the weekend, then still seeing a few clouds come in, but a lot of sunshine expected. And dry weather continuing too. Also seeing that unseasonably warm temperatures last, as highs will stay well above where they should be this time of year. Now, early next week, we do see a little bit of a cool down, at least temperatures cooling back closer to where they should be, but still lots of dry weather and lots of sunshine in the forecast, even into early next week. Taking a look at that surface map, not much going on here in the southwestern United States, even here in southern Utah. Seeing just high pressure control our weather with warm and dry weather continuing, lots of sunshine, and temperatures well above where they should be for this time in March. Here's your forecast for tonight. We'll see those temperatures drop back into the mid-40s from St. George to Mesquite to Hurricane at 45 degrees by tomorrow morning. Mainly clear skies. Cedar City back to 31 as you wake up on your Thursday. Back into the mid to upper 70s. Could be close to 80. Wouldn't be surprised to see 81 degrees for the high over Mesquite. Mostly sunny skies. 76 degrees the high in Hurricane. 77 degrees in St. George and 68 degrees the high in Cedar City. Seven-day forecast for Cedar City. Again, showing those temperatures well above average into the upper 60s. As we head into the weekend, lots of sunshine, dry weather. Even next week, seeing those mid to upper 60s hang around Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. And as we take a look at that 7-day forecast for St. George, really more the same. Upper 70s, close to 80. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see 80 by the time we get to Sunday or Monday of next week. Just some beautiful weather across our area. Dry weather continuing too. No big chance of rain anytime soon. Looking like some dry conditions continuing here through the middle part of March.
Yeah, very nice out there.
Yeah, we're really enjoying that, seeing those temperatures well above average this time of year. Get out and enjoy that nice weather.
Definitely. Thanks, Chris. Still ahead, an unusual way to make sure you don't get arrested.
Programming brought to you by Sun River St. George, home of the everyday getaway.
You're watching Southern Utah's own Channel 8 KCSG.
Even this morning, we were out listening to one of our programs on mindfulness and having a cup of coffee and she had her tea. It was so beautiful, I started crying. I actually teared up. So what's the matter? I said, it's just so gorgeous here. And everything is so beautiful. I feel highly emotional. It's quiet. You can look at St. George in the distance. You're really being. You're really living. Hey, this is it. This is your life, right now. Not tomorrow, not next week, not an hour from now. And that's a hard thing to do because we are people who like to do instead of like to be. When's the most precious moment of your life? Right now. You don't find an environment that we bring people together. Sun River does that. Anybody can buy a house, but you can't buy a way of living.
It's the heroes we adore, the occasions we share, the inspiration we crave, the relaxation we need, the imagination we ignite, and the togetherness we feel. Gather around TDS.
Just think, what if we didn't have local TV and radio? Where would I go for local sports, health news, local politics, without the bias you find on cable and social media? That's why local TV and radio is the most trusted news source.
It's a traffic stop unlike any other. A junior at the University of Central Arkansas, Blake Puckett, was driving home from the library late Friday night. He got pulled over by Sergeant Keith McKay. McKay shows Puckett why he's pulled over. Brake light was out, then talks to him to make sure he's sober. Then the officer asks a question that will change the entire conversation.
What's that in your pocket? Here? Yeah. It's gonna sound really weird. I'm a magician.
You're good to go, but you're a magician. Can I please see some magic? And he said, I'm a magician, but I'm also a juggler.
And I knew I could prove that I hadn't been drinking, especially with some juggling clubs in the back seat.
And that is just what he did, and that video has now been viewed online thousands of times. Thanks for watching.